Hello, this is the Talking Twosome back again, like we promised. We made that announcement, so we're coming back again with a new show, new way of doing things. You heard us talking, now we got to put video with the voice. So, what better time to do it now, right, babe?
That's right. So this is a long time coming. I'm super excited. We talk so much. We go to church every day, and church is what?
Church is when two of people come together to do righteousness in this world.
Two or more people getting together. Has nothing to do with the building. So we talk about everything, and our debut should have been yesterday. We had planned to get things started, but circumstances kind of got in the way of that. And that's what we want to really start the conversation
Mhm.
of
Why the
how,
show?
yeah,
Why the show didn't happen?
why the show didn't happen yesterday.
We made I made a solo debut yesterday. We had to keep it going, but that was supposed to be the Talking Twosome debut. And wow, when you on the path to do things, when God tell you to do things and you're trying to do them in the order and
Yes.
you let weaknesses come in, it will destroy a whole plan. So
Yes.
that's what happened to us yesterday. But we're going on 20 years of marriage this year, and we want to let you guys know that no marriage is perfect. That's what we're coming with. And we're going to tell you the reason why and the things that you need to look out for so you can get to hopefully to 20 years.
That's right.
We're still learning each other
Every day.
every day,
Like yesterday.
like yesterday. And if it got resolved today, that's because we had a real conversation. So let me just start off like this. Trauma is the reason why most people do everything that's not beneficial.
Yep.
Trauma. That means you have to defend yourself. Look out. You're looking for clues to avoid certain people, certain things. That's even in marriage, and you don't even know why that you do those things, or you just know this person knows I'm mad with this situation. Why don't they stop it? And you're not completing the whole thing. So that's what happened to us yesterday. Um, like, let's go into it. Let's be. This is transparency because we are here to help as well. We want people to make 20 years of marriage and be happy and in love. I hear a lot of people say they get divorced after 3 years. We were married for 20, and probably about 8 of those years we were fighting and trying to figure it out. Just being honest. So not talking about 8 straight years. We're talking about
Yes, it's over time.
over
So
time.
I don't know anybody that's like, okay, we are at the point in our marriage where we don't fight anymore. We fight a whole lot less. That's the truth. And I wouldn't even call it a fight. It's just those disagreements because we are still two people that are trying to grow in our individual lives, trying to grow,
Yeah.
um, in our spiritual lives and together as well in the marriage. So, um, we I know I was very excited about yesterday. So we keep talking
You
about
was excited. You
yesterday.
was.
We keep going back to yesterday because of the importance of recognizing certain things. So again, leading up to yesterday, the
This was
excitement
not the
was
show. Just remember,
this
this is the
wasn't
show today.
supposed to be
This was not
the
supposed to be
show
the
today. It
show.
was supposed to be yesterday, but the
But
reason
this
why,
topic wasn't supposed to be the first show. It was an
right?
introduction, but we feel so
But
powerful.
yet here we are.
We feel so powerful about what we went through yesterday that we want to share it and be transparent with you, just to
Absolutely.
show you how you get attacked
Yeah.
when you got things moving in your direction, and then how you can get out of it and how you can complete each other and have understanding. That's the whole message. Completing
Mhm.
each other and having understanding. When you have understanding, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. You have understanding.
Yeah. And anybody that's been following us through our podcast, we've always been truthful, and honest, and that's not going to change. This is the reason that we're doing this now because again, we go to church here in our home and we sit in these chairs most of the time and we just talk. We talk about everything. And we wanted to, bring that to you all and kind of open that door for new opportunities. But what happened yesterday, again, we got up, normally Sunday, we get breakfast, we get dinner, all of that. But before we were able to even do that, there was a huge disagreement that we had. And that kind of put a halt on things because, in the marriage, when there's a disagreement, now there's tension in the house. It really doesn't matter whatever plans you had, forget those because that's now done because you are now sitting in this position where you really don't want to be with that person. You really don't want to see them. You don't want to hear their voice. That's how it got yesterday for us. So I'll tell my perspective and you can tell your perspective. But I think it was where we are right now that had to happen. But of course, at the time when you actually in the midst of it, you really trying to figure out where did this go wrong, especially in how we determine things. You're in your light and then you're in your darkness. So whatever that light is, you're happy, you're at peace. That's all light.
Righteousness.
That's God. God is light. God is peace. God is love. So once you come out of that light and you headed left, you going into that darkness. Well, this is left. But going into that darkness, woo, we all know what darkness is. You can't see the confusion. You're angry. You're upset. So to go from light to dark just like that, it was like 0 to 100 real quick.
You go from giving to taking because you want to, like when you're in light, you're giving. That's the way of lightness. You give. But when you start getting dark, you're starting to put it about selfishness, me. So just keep that in mind if you're arguing and you're the one that's upset. Keep that in mind. I'm sorry, I just wanted to add in on that.
Okay, and I felt the argument could have been avoided altogether, or it didn't have to escalate to the point of acting like, hey, I don't even want to be with this person. We were good. It was a great 18 years. Okay, we leaving. I'm leaving, going our separate ways. That's how extreme it had gotten, which is ridiculous for a few words, or it was a question. So we're going to talk about that. It was a question that was asked, and that question blew all the way up, way out of proportion. So I was the one that asked the question, and my husband, that question kind of triggered some things in him, and the question itself wasn't important. The fact that it was a question, that's what we're going to talk about. And because that kind of triggered him, the way he handled it to me, this is my own perspective. It was ridiculous. Honestly, that's my opinion. It was ridiculous how he handled it. But I need to put myself in it as well. I need to ask myself, how did it get to this point? Because I think a lot of times we kind of look at things one-sided. We have to look at both sides of the situation whenever there's a disagreement or any type of rift in a relationship. It's always two sides to it. Sometimes a lot of people say three. Your side, they side, and then the truth somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I was expecting him to kind of keep me in the light, because that darkness was like a cloud coming over. It just got darker and darker and darker and darker. So I go to my closet. I call it my prayer room, seeking answers. And for some reason, it was as though he was the only one that could give me the answers. He was the only one that could get my light back, because it dimmed it to the point of I couldn't see anything. It was just complete darkness that took over. And I had to realize, no, I have someone above my husband that I can always go to. So if we're having a disagreement, he's not going to give me something.
What did I say?
He's not going to give me that light because he's the one that's taking it. That's in my opinion.
What did I say?
Oh, so
I'm talking about the light situation. I said I can't.
Right. You said, I'm not the reason your light is dimming, because those are my words. I said, man, I feel my light dimming. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to that dark place. I feel my light dimming. And then you said, I'm not the cause of that. And in my mind, that's you are the cause of that. You are the one that did this. I was just fine. And then something else happened, and you said, that's not my problem. So straight darkness. Those two comments, darkness. And I'm not proud of how I acted and reacted after that, because we have been real good for a real long time. But that just goes to show you that at any given time, anything can trigger.
Especially when you're going into a different level of life.
A different level of life where your light is so bright and you have
Blessings
this debut coming up. You're excited about it. It's always seems like it's something that's trying to stop you from getting to that next level in life, to get to that higher light, to let that light shine a little bit brighter, a little bit brighter. It's always something that comes in and try to take that light from you. And that's what happened yesterday with us.
Yes.
So that's my perspective.
And from my perspective, I'm just being honest with you. Trauma. I didn't realize how much trauma I had until today, a few hours ago, and I'm gonna rewind it to yesterday. It was a question asked. The question, like I said, it wasn't a question. It was one of those questions that people ask that if you think they know the answer to, like, why are you asking me that question? That's what I was triggered by. I was triggered by believing that she knew the answer, or like not understanding, like, well, I'm not understanding why you don't know this. But she told me I asked the question because I didn't know. Then it just got out of hand from that point on. I was like, well, whatever. That's not my fault that you don't know. I'm thinking I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing it. I'm not answering that question. I wasn't. That was the reason. I wasn't answering the question. I was like, my actions are doing it. Why are you asking me this? She's like, I didn't know you were doing it. So that was the whole thing right there. That's where the disagreement came in. But we was talking, and we were talking about a plate. We were talking about our kids. We were talking about a plate. And then it triggered. Then it made me realize what it really was. My whole life, I have been questioned, right? And then that plate situation, it brought it all back to my childhood trauma. I remember breaking a plate, and I cleaned it up, and I put the broken plate in the trash can. Then my mom, it's the truth, my mom saw the broken plate in the trash can and asked me, why is this plate in the trash can? I told the reason why the plate was in the trash can. I broke it, told the truth, but I still got my ass whooped. I know, like, a lot of people can relate to that. Mm-hmm. A lot of men probably can relate to that. Single moms, single men, can relate to that. So, yeah. And then I've been messing with police. They question the hell out of you. Think about interrogation. Like, you did something wrong. Just, you got me. What's your evidence? Charge me. Don't have me answering all these questions, and I don't know what's going on. I don't trust any questions. And then military questions. I feel set up with questions. I feel like questions are set up. Even though I tell the truth, I'm still like, why are you asking me this? The question my mom should have asked is, how did the plate broke? Not why it's in the trash can. It's in the trash can because it's no good no more. It's broken. But the question should have been, well, how did you break it?
Right.
But even though I answered that question correctly, I still got my ass whooped. So I feel like questions that can be answered, they trigger me. And I did not realize that how much so until my wife questioned me. And I'm like, I don't understand. Why are you asking me this? And then to take it even further, my wife is the best woman I know. So the fact that I see traits or triggering things in her that trigger me, with the questions, I take it out on her. So as soon as that question came, I was like, you know what? The day is not the day. I'm not answering this question. I'm not going there. So I brought darkness in first by being triggered. I didn't even want to know why she was asking questions. And I figured that out today. Now, when you tell them one reason why you ask a question, I get upset because I feel like questions are setups. But why do you ask questions?
And I ask questions because growing up, I didn't have a voice. So there were no questions being asked. It was straight. Right. I don't want to hear it. And you calling me a liar, and I'm sure, I don't know, y'all may have heard that as well. Y'all mama, your daddy, whoever may have said that to y'all. But there was not much of a voice. So my childhood trauma is asking questions to give people a voice that I didn't have growing up. So even with our kids, and you intervene a lot of times as well, because I'm asking questions to understand why. I always want to know, why did you do that? Because I find it fascinating that you would make a decision like that, or do something or not do something. So why did you do it? Why didn't you do it? I know that you did it.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. So, and with you,
it's like, the answer, the reason why, like, for example, kids didn't do the dishes before 8:00. Mm-hmm. It's 8:30. Why didn't you do the dishes? To me, it doesn't matter that you didn't do the dishes. It's the fact that you didn't do them. Now here come, because we have laid it out for you. Mm-hmm. My wife wants to be understanding to the reason why they're not done at 8:00. I don't care, because I don't want you asking me questions that's going to set me up for a lie.
Which that's what you think when someone asks you questions.
So I don't trust anybody who asks questions that know the answer.
That's your trigger.
Yeah.
Like, why are you asking so many questions? Yes. So, again, we've been together over 20 years. We in our 40s, mid to late 40s, right now.
Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, you see this hair? Man, 46. I'm proud of it, but I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm 44.
I'm proud of it.
So we 40s. I said mid to late.
I'm mid still.
We in our mid 40s.
Right. Late 40s, man. But to have another argument on
mid to late.
I'm triggered. I don't want to get older. I'm proud about it.
That wasn't even a question.
I know. That's the truth. People get mad when you give them the truth, don't they? But anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so in our ages, in our stages,
in our midlife,
our midlife crises.
Yeah, we still have them.
In this marriage that we've been in for almost 20 years, that was another, now I can say it, that was another breakthrough. That was another breakthrough, because I realized, I know I didn't realize I asked so many questions, but now I know, ask the right questions.
Be direct.
So it's not okay, why did you do that? When did you do it? How did you do it? Where did you do it? Instead of getting to that main question that's going to bypass all those other questions. Mm-hmm. To get to that main question. What are you really wanting to know? So we go back to the plate in the trash can. And that, what you said your mama said, or your mama question was, who put the plate in the trash can?
No, why? It's the trash.
Yeah, why
is
is the plate in the trash can?
It was broken.
And
Not
you
a
know
whole
what?
plate. It was a broken plate.
I would ask that question too. If I saw a plate in the trash can, that would be my question. Why is this plate in the trash can? So after our conversation today, I'm not gonna rethink that. So it's not why is it in the trash can? We know why. It's in the trash can because it's broken. That's not the question. The question is, see, this is what I now will ask. Who put the broken plate in the trash can?
Yes.
So let's figure out the who first. And then
in my situation, it was just me and my mom.
It was just y'all two.
And she knows she didn't break the plate. So
there was no need in why or who.
Yes.
So those two questions are already eliminated. Why is the plate in the trash can? Because it's broken. Mm-hmm. Who put the plate in the trash can? You put the plate in the trash can. So those questions, we now have to start eliminating useless questions.
Yes.
That's what I took from this conversation. And in my 44 years of being here, now I know it comes from my childhood and not having a voice. And I would have liked those questions to be asked to me. You know, if there's an issue or you see that I did something wrong, maybe find out why I did it. But in your case, you already know it was done.
Yeah.
So am I going to be punished or not? Am I not going to be punished?
Yeah.
What is it going to be? Yes, I did. You know I did it. Stop with all the questions. So that is the conclusion that we came up with. Yeah. And that's growth, man. And that's what life is all about. Especially if somebody is telling you, hey, multiple people telling you, but in this case, it's really my husband. What are you really trying to say? You know, because we have done it. If I'm asking the kids questions, what are you really trying to say? What do you really want to know? And then in my childhood trauma case, I say, well, let's hear them out. You know, let's hear what they got to say. Because you like, get to the end. You know, you know how it happened. Get to the end point. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear, but that's me. Well, let's hear what they have to say. Let's hear them out. You see how that it's kind of a conflict in a way, and works at the same time, which is weird.
In my growth today, I'm just being honest. My kids didn't grow up like me with that type of abuse, mental abuse. Yeah. And so I'm like, get to the point. My wife never was hurt. And then I realized my kids do things that I don't understand. So my wife is trying to understand my kids. She's trying to understand, her kids. So she want to understand why they do things because they weren't taught to do those things. Mm-hmm. That's my fault for stopping that. So I realized questions are important when you love someone and you care. You're trying to figure out why they're thinking that way, especially if you never taught them that. So my issue is like, I thought since you're wrong, I'm not gonna ask you why did you do that, because I see that you did it. I just don't want you to lie. I don't want you to answer a question with a lie when I already know the truth. I feel like that's a setup. So many times, so what happened at school today? I'm like, what you mean? You already know I'm about to lie because I know what you're talking about.
Right.
But so I'm a lie, but you already know all the information because the teacher already called you. Mm-hmm. You understand? So don't play mind games like that with people.
Yeah.
Because you get trauma like me, not with trust issues, all because of questions, man. Mm-hmm. Because somebody loves you or want to know, something, they might genuinely might not know the answer.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. I felt bad, but she also feels bad for the questions because she does realize questions. You see how.
Yeah, because I would ask one of the kids, is your room clean, when I know it's not? So we just gonna start eliminating unnecessary stuff.
It is clean. Let's go see. You know this room ain't clean. But you already had the list in your head.
So don't lie. Don't do that. Yeah. But unnecessary questions. I will go into one of their rooms, come out that room. Hey, is your room clean? Well, I know it's not. That's not the right question. The question is, why is your room not clean?
And me, I'm like, don't even ask
Go
that
clean
question.
your room.
Me, I'm like, don't even ask that question. Baby,
Go clean
that
your room, right?
Go clean.
Because it could be a reason why your room not clean.
And that's where we different. Maybe we still different to this day. It's no, if I lay it out for you, there's no reason why.
There's no reason behind.
Unless you come to me before and say, "Hey, I can't do this because this is what's happening." I'm like, okay, I have understanding then, but I have no understanding if you like, okay, I'm gonna have it done by then, yes, sir. And then I come back and it's not done. I have no understanding. I'm not gonna ask you a question to have you lie to me. If I know, like for example, so many people do this in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. Are you cheating on me? You already know the answer, but you need proof.
If you have to ask that question, more than likely, yep. And that brings up a good point.
Stop playing with people.
With the whole you going through phones and doing all that. What are you gonna do when you find something?
Tear up something? Nothing. Because people who do that, they don't have the strength to lead. They depended on that person to act right. And you already know how I feel about people depending on someone to do right by them. Can't depend on anyone to do right by them. They got to do right by you. They got to choose to do that. You can't make them do, I do so much for you. So.
And then if they're not doing right by you, you got to do right by yourself.
You got to remove yourself.
That's what you have to do.
But people don't want to remove themselves. And then the ones who are cheating on you, I got the best of both worlds. All I got to do is a little nagging. I can have 3 people at the same time, but you don't remove yourself. That's your fault. That's how I feel. I have trust issues and I've been through things. I don't need, a lot of friends and support when it comes to that. But, some people do. That's just how I feel about
it. Yeah, I definitely get that. But yeah, that it was, I'm just glad that we were able to come to that conclusion and really work on it, because we are in, like I said, we are in a season right now, because we have been so blessed. I mean, to even see our growth in each other. So if you and your significant other, if y'all were going through a journey, hopefully it's a spiritual one, because there's no higher journey than a spiritual journey. That will make everything else kind of grow with it.
Yeah.
So if you grow higher in your spiritual journey with your God, my Father, then everything else kind of catches up with it. So your marriage, your children, your finances, all of that work together. And I see a change in you. Although we had that issue yesterday, I see an absolute change in you, and I'll let you know. And that's good to encourage each other. Like if you see that they are really making a difference, because a lot of us have habits. We have bad habits, things that we picked up in childhood, a lot of childhood traumas. But if we see that person is making a change, making a difference, let them know that.
Yeah, encourage
Say,
people.
Hey, I see you. I see that certain things may have been triggering, but it's not now, because you have grown so much in your life, in your spiritual journey, that a lot of things should not bother you, should not get to you. It should not anger you, because your light's so bright.
But I'm gonna be honest, like when you have a wife or a husband that you really do truly love, I mean, you can't see no wrong until you see wrong. And then when you see wrong, oh my, it's like a heartbreak. It really is. That's what happened to my wife yesterday. That's what happened.
Black.
I got darkness first with the triggering of the question. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I kind of removed myself and let her have that. That was not fair. That was wrong with me. But I was like, I'm removing myself from this shit. Because
I didn't dim your light. And I'm telling you, you did.
And I didn't want to accept it. And I wasn't.
You did. I need your help. Give it back. And you're like, I will not.
I will not.
I will not.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of men do that.
Blackout.
There's a lot of Adams out there. I wasn't going to be an Adam today. I wasn't going to, I was not. But It's all good, man. I'm glad it
Yeah.
happened. I really am, because it made me realize who I am. And that's just one more thing I
Yeah.
can check off my list
Absolutely.
to be a better person.
Yes.
So I'm getting rid of all the bad shit in my
That's
life,
it
man.
right there.
All
That's
that trauma.
it right
If
there.
you grew up like I grew up, you will understand.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trauma. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much trauma I had until trying to figure out how to be a good husband.
Yeah. That's when things are gonna come in. When you have a spouse that knows you probably better than anybody else, and they like, I don't understand why they like this. Why you like that? You know, and you like, this is normal. What? Ain't nothing wrong with me. But if they're telling you they see something that you may want to work on, then listen.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Don't you dare get mad at somebody who loves you
Yeah.
and they tell you the truth, even though it might not be what you want to hear. Like, hey, baby, how look at you? Like, baby, don't wear that shit.
Oh,
You
know you gonna get the truth.
You're gonna get the truth. You can't wear that out the house. Why can't I wear what I want to wear? Because I love you. And then when you get in some trouble, who you gonna call? Me.
Yeah.
And then you want me to go out there and defend your honor because you wanted to wear some slut shit?
Yeah, that's why I would never put my husband in that situation. I love him. So when you love somebody, you don't want to see them hurt. And I'm calling him, hey, I know you said don't wear that, but I'm in a situation. Can you come up here? No.
I can't come up there.
No.
I don't want to see you hurt either.
Yeah.
I
so
don't
you're
want to
not
see you
coming.
hurt. I'll come later, but not no. All the police.
He said, I don't want to see you hurt.
I don't want to see you hurt. I'm just being honest.
I ain't coming.
Wait till you handle your business.
Wait till everything die down.
That's my trust issues again. I don't trust no cop. They gonna think I did it or something. Like, sir, why are you here? That's my wife. Why you let your wife out the house? Arrest me.
Now it's back to you.
Yeah, now it's back to you.
So I set you up, right?
See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get blamed for that.
That's exactly my problem. Crazy like that, but yes.
And then that brings up another good point, because even yesterday it was like, it was just a question in my mind, you know. And when when you are with your spouse, you think certain things you can do that should not affect them. Like, you should get a pass. Of everybody else that should get a pass, you should be the one, because we done been through some stuff.
Yes.
So by me asking a question, I should get a pass, man. You know, but we have to understand, when we deal with childhood trauma, everybody in the bucket.
Yeah. Like you said,
it don't matter what you've done, how much you have proven yourself, that I'm here for you, baby. You don't have to worry about that. I would never put you in a situation. If I ask you questions, it's not to come back and use anything against you or try to hurt you in any kind of way. But if you have childhood trauma, it's all trauma from everybody. Nobody is exempt.
Nobody.
No matter who you are.
Because like we said,
I had to understand
your husband and your wife, you put them on a whole nother level.
Right.
But as soon as you see something in them that you don't like, that somebody from the world, some worldly shit, then you know all that's out the window.
Don't matter. Don't matter if you just had a good morning, because we had a good morning. None of that matters. So that I had to really think about, because that has been the issue of mine as well. Because I'm thinking, I'm your wife. Your wife.
You have said that to me.
I say that a lot, you know.
And what did I say? I don't care.
I don't care who you are.
Exactly. I don't care who you are.
Like, have I not proven myself
I'm saying
in all
the
of
same
these
thing.
years of being here with you and us going through everything we've been through? Have I not proven myself that this should not be a trigger for you? And I told you that today. I don't want to be anybody's trigger. I don't want to take nobody there, you know, ever.
And I'm the same way. And my issue is, I'm just being honest. My issue is, once you're there and I feel like I haven't done anything wrong, you're not going to get me to budge. And that's not right. I should be more understanding. And I learned the understanding is the completion of all problems. My wife understands why I am the way I am when it comes to questions, and I definitely understand the reason why she asked them. If you have no voice,
Yeah.
and man, that has to be tough. And here I am thinking like, why people talk too much? All they doing is lying. More people talking, the more they lying, right? So
That's already in your head, no
Already.
matter what outcome it is, because you was even saying, well, maybe I should let things play out before I just be like, oh, this is the reason why they're asking questions.
yeah,
Let me see where this
Yeah.
goes. These questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you already got that in your head, it don't matter.
it does not matter.
It really don't.
So that brings us to the other show. I mean, I did a show yesterday, I'm doing it by myself.
And that's why. And I was like, I don't know if we even said 2 words to each other after yesterday's incident.
So the show must go on, but I had did a show on regrets about a baby mama having kids with another man or whatever. Both of them have regrets, and we have regrets. You don't never want to have those.
I hate regrets. I hate them.
Mainly because you could have did something different that made it right.
Yes.
That's the part right there. You could have did something different to make it right. I promise you, I have no regrets about that argument yesterday. We did something. We talked about it and made it right. Don't be holding on.
Yeah.
Don't
now.
hold on. Yeah, now.
I don't have any regrets about what happened because this was the outcome.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, oh,
healing.
I felt like we have made so much progress, and this is such a
useless.
setback.
Not really.
At the time, that's how
we was
I
in
felt.
darkness. Yeah,
Yeah, at the time,
darkness.
this is such a setback. How could this have happened? We have grown so much. We have come so far. These little things should not hinder us.
But they do.
But they do.
Because they need to be out. They need to be out of the relationship. Little things are the reason why. The details is where the devil lives. Remember that. It's the little things that you let go.
It completely stopped the flow.
Completely. And that was the day.
Everything was at a standstill. So that's the reason why you did your solo show yesterday. But yeah, we have to live life hopefully without regrets. So if you feel like I love that show Snapped on I think it was on Oxygen. Okay, then you watch it Oxygen, ID channel, anything like that.
But evil.
See, that goes back to why. Why did they do it? I know they killed him, but why did they do it? How did they get to that point? I want to know all the details. But when you do something, and I did something yesterday out of my darkness that I do regret, and sometimes you can't undo that. A lot of times and when I say undo that means make amends or make it right. When you do some things out of anger, out of your darkness, like that show Snapped, because it's like this, just like that. 1 minute you hear, next minute somebody, and it's mainly your spouses that do it, that take you out just like that.
You understand? She be watching these Snap shows and snapping.
My favorite was Wives with Knives.
My favorite show, Man with a Backhand and a Can end. Nobody playing these games with y'all, with a can end. Nobody's playing games no more. Man, me and Protect Your Lives. Don't be out here afraid of a woman about to stab you with a knife. Leave.
Well,
why would you sleep there? Leave.
Ew, they don't know they about to be stabbed. I'm sure they would have got out if they knew. Hey, my wife about to stab me tonight in my sleep.
They must don't have no God in their life, because I'm gonna have a clue.
You know.
I'm gonna know. I'm gonna know. She one eye open. I don't know.
She a little weird tonight. I don't know.
Yeah. Baby, you want to go out to your favorite restaurant? Nah, I don't want to go. You always want to go. Mm-hmm. Tonight we're gonna have a little dip. Man, don't eat that food. I
make Sunday breakfast on Sunday. If I don't make breakfast any other day, Sunday is the day. And what did you say? Yes. today when I started making breakfast.
You don't have to make me none. I'm not eating it. She watched Snap. What? I'm about playing games. It's all good.
I'm not eating that. Like, did you seriously? You thought I can't even look at you right now. Why you?
That's like,
why you so serious right now?
because that was a serious moment. I was like, so it won't be no confusion.
Oh,
You know how you like some people be like, if she make me food, I'm not eating it, but she'll make you a plate of something. I want to avoid all new arguments. Why don't you eat the food? Because I'm not eating it. So that's another problem I have. I like to handle stuff before it even happens. I'm not eating that. So
See,
don't make me
you
no
know,
plate.
I'm a good wife, and I make his plate and bring it to him. That's on normal Sundays, but not yesterday. Was not any given Sunday.
No, but so yeah.
You don't need to make me nothing. Not
That's how
this day.
serious it was around
Not
here.
today. I don't want nothing from you. And I completely ignored him. Like, whatever. I'm still. Other people gonna need to eat. I got kids.
Kids are straight. They ain't do nothing to it.
With
It
all,
was me.
with all, it's like, who said I was making anything for him? That's what I said in my head, because still wasn't talking. So like, who do you think he is? How you know I'm making anything for him at this point? Come on, don't make me nothing.
Because you always make a plate for me on Sunday.
This wasn't any given Sunday.
I understand, but we have been, we still do things for each other.
I know we still do.
When we're mad, but that Sunday, I'm not eating nothing.
I mean, my
even
scream. I'm in my shirt, like in that closet. How can you say that? Just go and clean off. But then I said, you know what? It's Sunday. I still got to make breakfast. So the show must go on.
Yes.
Regardless of what's going on.
And this is how you get to 19 years, right? You still fight. You still
gotta do what
you don't eat their cooking when they mad. You just don't eat it. And then you make up and do right and be the loving spouse that you need to be and get it back together.
Here we are.
And here we are. It's Monday. And now that's behind us. But like I said, I don't have any regrets because I have become a better person.
Yes.
My knowledge of and understanding of where that comes from, just because of the question, it was deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's something that was still holding on from childhood that this 46-year-old man need to let go of, so my kids cannot have that same attribute and that I'm bringing to them today.
We learned this today that was the reason behind why we are the way that we are.
Yeah. And that's deep to me.
Crazy work.
It's crazy work, but it's simple when you take time to realize what the real problem is.
Yeah. In a way, it is amazing. It is amazing that you're able to recognize that and just having that open communication, because it was like, I don't ever want to do that again.
Let me rewind that. It's amazing, but how do we get, why is it amazing? What's the only way to get there? To make you, yes, God, that's the first way, but then what's the second? What do you have to do to get there?
In my opinion, you have to be open. You have to be open to the fact that there is an issue.
That, and also I believe you have to take accountability for your part in what's going on.
It's never one person.
It's never one person. It's two people with their own same bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's what we were saying. We were on the same level. We really were. We was just on two different degrees.
Yeah.
I was on don't ask no damn questions, don't set nobody up, because you're going to set them up for lies. Because if they think they're going to be in trouble, they're going to lie to you every time. Every time. If somebody thinks they're in trouble, they're going to lie, especially if they did.
Which makes things even worse.
Because you got to handle the
question, then they lying to you.
You got to handle the lie, then the situation. Mm-hmm. And then on my wife's end, she was asking questions to give a person a voice. Well, I don't want a liar to have a voice.
And I don't want to call people a liar if I don't know that they're gonna lie.
And I think everybody's a
And
lie.
you already,
Yes.
you already coming in. They gonna lie. Why even ask the question?
Mhm.
You know,
That's my problem.
already.
Because if you get in trouble as a kid, I would lie to you to get out of trouble. Because who wants to get beat for telling the truth? I have a rule now, like if you tell the truth, there's really no consequence.
Yeah.
You know, there's really nothing. If you tell me the truth, I'm gonna bring understanding.
Yeah.
That's in my house.
And I think that's what we need to do. We need to start turning those, once we know, why we are our makeup and all of that, we got to turn those negatives into positives. That's what we have to start doing.
Yeah. Bring the truth in.
Yeah.
Bring the light in. Give the light. Don't just take it all the time. People always want advice. Why don't you, if you know something, give, help.
Absolutely.
Be a part of the problem and always give. And
be a part of the solution.
Be a part of the problem. I called myself. You are the problem. Be the solution.
Be the solution.
But yeah.
We are the problem solver. Let's solve some problems.
Let's solve it, man.
But that's what all of this is all about. Because again, we talk about so much every single day. In these chairs, pillow talk, whatever talk, and we both work from home. So we would go on break just to talk.
Just like now.
Just like right now.
A little downtime, so we're doing a show real quick. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is. It just started consuming us so much so it's like, okay, we have to do this. This is, we're being led to do this.
Yeah. And we don't know what's going to happen, but that's the reason why. So we're going to be transparent.
Yeah.
We probably even do some skits for you guys. We don't know. It all depends on what's put on our heart to do. I don't have any plans for this show.
Nope.
I really don't, but I do have plans to do a show often and to reach out and to really help and be a light of love.
Yes.
We love marriage. That's another thing. We love marriage, man.
Love.
Yeah, marriage, man.
I hate to see people divorce. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a divorce. I'm like, oh.
We probably should have been divorced about
20 times.
How many years? 19 years. So
it'll be 19 this year.
Be 19 this year. Then 19. We probably should have been divorced 38 times.
That sounds about right.
Every 6 months.
I'm leaving. I'm out here.
Done deal. But no, when you love someone and you know somebody have your back, it doesn't matter what you go through because you know their heart.
Yeah.
So know your spouse's heart. Know they're trying to do right. Be forgivable. Mm-hmm. Forgive.
Be open. Honest.
And honest. Yeah. That's it.
You have to be. And just know, hey, this is a marriage. This is we together forever.
Yeah.
Till death.
Yeah. That's it. So that's the first show, I believe. And subscribe, comment, hit us up. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer any. We have a saying, we can fix all marriages in 15 minutes.
He got to say it. I'm still working on the questions and trying to get them down. So it may take a little longer. But I'm reeling it back.
I'll say 30 minutes with all the questions, but me, 15 minutes. You tell me what the problem is. I immediately tell you what you need to do.
You set that timer for 15 minutes, and I'll have you.
Y'all.
I'll have you like new.
Brand new. Make everything new again in 15 minutes, because it ain't nothing out there that serious that you need.
It's
weeks and weeks and weeks.
It's really not.
Because if it needs weeks and weeks and weeks, that means you need love. So if you don't have no love in the marriage, that's where all that counseling comes in.
Starts.
You don't care.
Yeah.
And then if you care, then he's like, then you're selfish. Yeah. So you need to look at all these things. You can't be selfish in marriage because you got married to give.
Yeah.
What he is yours, and what's hers is yours, and come together and marry.
It's all the same, whether it's finances or whatever. He don't have it, I got it. If I don't have it, he got it. Yeah. That's called a partnership. That's how that works.
I hate that word. And that's marriage.
I know you don't like the word partnership.
Just give me independent vibes. I don't like independent married people. That doesn't make sense to me.
What I just said,
I know what you
was
said.
absolutely you being dependent on the other person when you need him and when they need you.
Yeah.
So you can put whatever word you want to put in there, but that's the purpose to me, is being able to have each other's back and really grow, like in every way, spiritually, mentally, because nobody else knows me more than the person that I sleep with every night for the last over 20 years. So if somebody can call me out on my stuff, this one gonna do it. And I have to be able to accept it. Well, I need to first know if it's an issue or not, or if it's really you. That's where we got to get to first.
That's discernment. That's when you got to talk to your father.
Is it me that's causing this, or is it really the other person? So you have to understand it. But I wanted to say one other thing. This is years in the making. How many years? 5, 6 years in the making.
Are you talking about the going video?
Yes, this debut. And there were a lot of hindrances. It was, I got to make sure the hair is right. Make sure the face is right. The weight is right. No. If we have something to get out, if God say go, you go.
Yeah.
He's not caring how you look. I don't makeup and all that. No nails, all of that. We here for a message. We not here to look cute.
Yeah.
We not here to impress nobody. We here to get the message out, the truth out. That's our purpose.
Yeah. And that's if you can help someone, that's the real message in this world. That's what we're trying to deliver. If you can help someone get out of your way and help them.
Yep.
Don't be selfish. Don't be so tired to do anything. Because that was all selfish work. That's all towards your goals. And my father said you should be giving.
Yeah, he didn't take a day off.
He didn't. But we will talk about that more later.
Yes.
But we just want to reintroduce ourselves to Talking Twosome. We want to be transparent. We're going to be truthful. If you need advice or you need 20 plus.
That's what we're here for. We have been through much. So much.
And then if you want to get married, I am an ordained minister in Texas. Only in Texas. I'm going to get my license all over the United States. I am an ordained minister.
How did you become an ordained minister?
I got certified.
How?
You go online and get certified. What? Try that like I'm not a real ordained minister to marry people. I can marry you.
That must have took a long time, huh?
No. I said, Google how to become a minister.
Just Googled it.
Yeah, I Googled, then it brought me to this first website. It wasn't even smart. I clicked on it. I filled out the paperwork. It said, congratulations, you are a minister. I ran with it. I printed it out. What?
Yeah, congratulations. You are now a minister.
I'm a minister to marry people. I don't know if I can preach yet, but I can marry you legally, seriously. And I'm going to open up a wedding chapel, and I'm going to be marrying people left and right.
Yeah.
I love, man. I want people to be happy like me.
Yeah, he does have a vision. We both do. So, yeah, this is the beginning of what's to come. I feel that big things are coming our way, and we want to share all of that with y'all.
Yeah, you're going to see
we
it
want
all.
to be able to help people. Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
We're going to share it all. We're going to get it together. Hopefully, as this grows, we'll have a man behind the camera versus me.
Trying to do everything, sweating. I say, what can I do to help you? Say, well, you sit there and look in the camera, so that's what I do. You look in the camera while you over there sweating, trying to plug this in and do that and do this.
I am not tech savvy.
You sure you don't need me to do nothing? No, you just sit there. Then get mad when I'm not looking in the camera because that's the only thing he asked me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. Stop looking at me. Look in the camera so I can see if this is lined up correctly. But anyway, yeah, that's the first show.